Welcome back. Now let me take you through on the front page of the Star newspaper. On the front page of the Star, puzzle of 650 million shillings wired to girlfriend. This is from the Belgian crypto dealer, lavishes Kenyan girlfriends and relatives with millions of shillings. Details briefly. Raila flies to UK for a 5-day tour soon after Ruto returns. He will be leaving next week. EACC wants Waiguru Courier to face fresh graft charges. Anti-graft detective have now asked the DPP to charge Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru and Gatundu South MP Moses Courier in separate corruption cases. One, they say that Waiguru is defending her seat as governor, while Courier has declared his bid for Kiambu governor seat. Now, there is a story there of traumatizing night after Kino building crashes down. This is not the first scene or the first case we've had here in the city. Now, to that story on the front page, it's detectives now want funds forfeited, allege that they are proceeds of crime. We had this story sometimes back in the past, and now it's here. I will give you more details. Now, briefly, the money wired to girlfriends and relatives. Now, this is according to an illustration. There is one gentleman called Tebi Wambuku who received 144 million shillings, and the lady that we all know about, that is Felesta Njuroge, 109 million shillings. And we have got an unknown person, Jane Wangoi, 44 million shillings. We also have an anonymous person, Sarah Wamboi, whose the details of the amount sent to her is also unknown, as well as Timothy Waigwa, who received 47 million shillings. So the Belgian crypto investor and his 650 million shillings gift for friends puzzles detectives. Okay, so Raila will fly to the UK after, that is for 5 days after Ruto returned from a 12-day trip abroad. ODM chief Raila Odinga out next month for 5 days after major political event in Nairobi. Mheshimiwa, just to ask you on this, why the foreign trips now? Is it the diaspora vote hunt?
I cannot speak for them at the moment, but there is the diaspora votes. And also maybe their own private businesses. Yeah, you can never tell. You see, it's not yet campaign time.
Yes.
Campaign official time starts on 30th of May. And this is a warm-up. So when you are doing a warm-up, you can also take a vacation and go rest and put your resources together. And also, you see, these people are going also with their own people, advisors, and they are also going to craft maybe the itineraries, their campaign manifestos, their campaign finances, and many other things. So you cannot prevent anybody from flying out of the country. Because if he sees the ground is secure, he can even go abroad and stay for some time, and nothing changes.
And come back and
especially the presidential candidate. Is not a must that you do it every day. No, you have other players who are left behind to hold your campaigns and be able to hold your people together.
Absolutely. Newton, now they say that Kalonzo and Gideon Moi held lengthy talks with President Museveni, and they're centered on the current discussion and situation is the situation in South Sudan, and particularly the planned retreat between President Salva Kiir and his first Vice President Riek Machar. That's what's on the Star here. What actually the two leaders in Uganda when they had their meeting with Honorable Museveni, President Museveni. So the allegations you're trying to say that, you know, what are they doing in Uganda? Now you've been answered. You're still disputing that.
This is for the media. This is for the media.
What is it that we don't know about?
But from the politics around this travel will be revealed very soon.
You know something that we don't know about?
Oh, it will be revealed very soon. I will not be the person to reveal it, but it's going to be revealed very soon.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka
he knows about.
is the peace ambassador.
Yes.
For South Sudan and the Congo. And that is part of his work plan, so that he can see the region as a lot of peace. That is where he was appointed by the president to be able to deal with those matters. So he has to consult the elders of the region, and Museveni is one of the elders who knows a lot. So if he sees there is something that he needs to consult, they have always been meeting so that they can see the peace in Sudan is installed.
Yeah, I support his sentiments because one, peace is very, and especially since we are going into an election period, peace is very critical. And we have an issue with Somalia in regards to our borders at the sea, and you see that one can really erupt into a lot of issues. What you are saying between Ukraine and Russia, and we commend Kalonzo. He's a peaceful man, and yes, let us hope that the key goal of his visit to Nini was peace.
So let me ask you, Newton, what's on the table between for Honorable Justin Muturi?
For Honorable Justin Muturi, it is clear from the word go, it is the presidency, and he's going for the presidency not because of him, and. You know, it has been alluded that, oh, Mount Kenya has had president, so we cannot have another president from the mountain.
Yes.
My comments are simple. At what point as a country will we give our presidential candidates equal platform despite their tribal affiliation? Because, you see, you can't kick out someone who is overqualified for the job. For someone who is not qualified because of the fact that he comes from a particular tribe.
Yes.
Where I stand from, I come from Western Kenya, Kakamega County to be precise. If we have a candidate from Kakamega who wins the presidency, and next election we have another candidate from Kakamega who is winning the election, who is a lawyer.
Yes.
I will have no problem voting for this person 10 times or 100 times to be the president of this country, not because he's coming from my region, but because he's qualified. We have been subjected to a two-horse race. If you look at the two horses, all of them, they don't qualify to lead this country. One is an old truck. The other one has a lot of scandals on his side. And we have Justin Muturi here, who is a clean, who has led parliament. Even Mheshimiwa here can attest to it. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of great order. He's a man who has the vision of this country. And that is why his clarion call is, we are not late as a country to have a president who cares for us all. A president who is not elected because of his tribal affiliation. And Justin Muturi stands out from the rest, because if you put the three,
yes,
or the put Justin Muturi, a serious thinking Kenyan will vote for Justin Muturi.
Okay.
Despite his tribal affiliation, I don't know, they are saying we have had Kikuyu presidency, we have had this. That is nonsense.
But that was the whole essence of having the BBI, the inclusivity.
Yes, the inclusivity should be put on how someone qualifies, not because of tribal. Because you see, we can't keep saying, oh, because the Kalenjins are many, they have to come. The coalitions are surrounded around, they are put around the numbers that people come from their regions.
Yes.
You get me? That is something that we need really to close that chapter and form coalitions that are oriented, are development oriented. Not because someone comes from Luo Nyanza, now we say, apana, paka turudishe mkono Luo Nyanza. That is nonsense. We need to have a Kikuyu president whose impact is felt in Busia, whose impact is felt in Northeastern, whose impact is felt in at the coastal region. Not a president. I will wish if Kalonzo will be elected president. As a lawyer, I'll be a happy man, because Kalonzo is a lawyer. He's someone who has qualities, who can put this country to the world map. But if we focus on this issue of, oh, because I'm Kikuyu, I cannot contest because Kibaki was Kikuyu, Uhuru Kenyatta was Kikuyu, so what? We have had 20-year rule of the Kikuyus.
Yes.
You get me? And if Justin Muturi is the best candidate to deliver this country, let us not look at the tribal affiliations.
That will only be determined at the ballot, because we're just 5 months shy away from that particular day.
Yeah, and I believe Kenyans are going to make that rightful decision to vote for integrity.
What if you are talking of impact? So what impact can we feel about Honorable Justin Muturi in Mandera?
Honorable Justin Muturi in Mandera, he has led the parliament, and he has been at the forefront to at least advise, because he is not actively involved in the voting of resources and all that. But he has seen all these budgets that are passed go through his desk.
Okay.
For the approval of the parliament.
All right.
And he understands where the leakages are, where the problems are, and from where he stands, he knows how he's going to handle the issues of Mandera, the issues of the coastal region, because even this week he'll be going to coastal region.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me take on the last paper here. That's the People Daily. Yes. Raila banks on chosen aid to deliver polls. That's what's on the front page of the People Daily. We have got the quote-unquote the Sky team. Clique of robust and experienced politicians has been facilitated and tasked with not only selling ODM leaders' manifesto, but also to counter any attacks on him in run-up to elections. Who are the 8? We have got Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, Narok Senator Ledama Olekina, Muranga Woman Representative Sabina Shege. We have got Homa Bay Woman Representative Gladys Wanga, Kieni MP Kanini Kega, and Suna East Member of Parliament Junet Mohammed, and lastly Embakasi East MP Babu Owino. 8, Mheshimiwa?
You see, every presidential candidate has got his preferred people, and they are sharp minded, I can say.
Yes.
And they are good politicians. So that is Raila's choice, and we cannot dispute. What I am saying is that given the presidency of Kalonzo Musyoka,
yes, he
will also have his own sharp minds, which he has already.
Who are the sharp minds?
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
No.
I'm not the one to unveil them. I'm not the one to unveil them.
And
he will have to unveil them himself.
Yes.
So, given that he will be in the ballot, and if that time reaches, he'll be able to unveil his people.
It's running late.
But what I am saying, it's not running late. What I'm saying that Kalonzo Musyoka is acceptable anywhere in this country, and everybody wishes that he was the flag bearer this time round. That nobody will reject him. In the Rift Valley will run behind him. The Nyanza will run behind him. The Western will. The Northeastern will also be behind him, and even the Central and the Northeastern. So now for this time, we are arranging ourselves, and this week will be our deciding, our deciding factor. Tomorrow we are going to have a meeting, and we will be given the way forward, so that we can be able to follow the path that our presidential candidate.
I'll get into that briefly, because there's so much we need to talk about Wiper Party.
Give us the direction.
Yes, briefly.
So don't worry about the lineup of these.
Okay.
We are coming up with ours.
Okay. Waiting to see that. On the front page, briefly, Newton, let me just finish on the paper here. Exam start amid insecurity and leakage. Claims more than 1.2 million candidates will sit their KCPE examinations test as government puts teachers on the spot over cheating claims. Kenya turns on the charm in classic golf tournament, which ended yesterday, and President Kenyatta was actually there to at the end of that particular event. And China's Wu wins 2022 Kenya Open. The 36-year-old four-time European Tour winner takes home around 36 million shillings prize money and that coveted trophy, the Rhino, right? So that is what we have on the front pages of our local dailies here, starting with the Standard, the Daily Nation, People Daily, and finally we have got the Star newspaper. Yes, Newton.
Just to comment on the front page for People's Daily, I think that is a cleansing process, because there was an uproar from the youth in that particular arrangement of Azimio. When there's a committee that His Excellency Raila Odinga were like, okay, so they were like the SK Majaras of this world, the Kaparos, the Kosgei, the Makao Mutua, the Wycliffe Oparanya, the Anyang' Nyong'os. So there, I'm seeing at least they have sneaked in young people.
No, I don't think they have sneaked in, because politics is about tactic.
But you see, on
politics
third,
dynamic,
on third of the same
with the
paper,
intelligence and what's on the ground.
On the third of the same paper,
right,
they published a group of old guard. So today,
I think some are advisors.
Exactly.
Some are campaigners. These are campaigners.
Yes, we have got Joho, we have got Honorable
advisors, and also financiers. You see SK Macharia, who is he? The billionaire of this country.
We are saying
that some are behind the scenes to be able to advise and also to bankroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's wait and see. But the way you're putting it, every politician must put the house in order depending the prevailing circumstance.
I agree
if
with
that was that, this is now here.
Yes.
And depending on the advice he was given, and now you have to energize your team.
Yes.
That's why this team is here.
What I'm trying to allude on is it's just simple. As young people of this country, we have just been subjected to statistics. And it is about time that young people stand up strongly and defend their positions in this government, because there's nothing for us without us. And what we are seeing around, apart from Justin Muturi, who has incorporated young tax like myself in his secretariat.
Yes.
These guys, they are going for the old tax. And that is why we want an alternative apart from these two. And young people, my challenge to them is come out on August,
yes,
and vote unanimously, so that when we say something about young people, people can sit down and understand and listen to us.
All right.
Because without that, the next generation of this country will be in sheer...
All right, gentlemen. So at this particular point, I think that brings the end of what's on the front pages of our local daily. So let's shift gears, and in Iron Politics, what we have this weekend, a lot happened over the weekend, Mheshimiwa. Honorable Raila Odinga was in Ukambani. And it's quite interesting to see what really happened over the weekend, because none of the One Kenya Alliance principals attended that rally. None of the Wiper Party members, legislators attended. Did you attend? Starting with you.
First of all, that was not our rally. That is Azimio's rally. We are OCA, and we have not been able to sit down and put an agreement together.
Yes.
It is until that agreement is done is when we can now be able to campaign together. So because that has not been able to be reached up to now, we are still on the table negotiating. And it is until that time. So the Machakos rally, which was there, and Ukambani kind of rallies, were purely for those who are in Azimio.
What are the
and we could
issues?
Not be able to attend ourselves.
Yes.
Because we were not part of it.
Right.
Yes.
What are the teething issues that Wiper Party is trying to iron out before they join Azimio?
Not Wiper Party. We are joining up as a coalition called OCA.
One Kenya Alliance.
Sorry. One Kenya Alliance.
One Kenya Alliance. Yes.
You to join as a coalition. Azimio is a coalition. OCA is a coalition. So we have to join as equal partners, not as one party. Not Wiper joining alone, not KANU joining alone, not NAC joining alone, and the Jirongo's party joining Azimio. We are a coalition together, where we want to negotiate with another coalition as equal partners. Until that is done, we are not campaigning together, and we are not together.
Okay, it's quite interesting, Mheshimiwa, because the kind of coalition you want to form is a coalition to a coalition kind of an agreement. You have got One Kenya Alliance, which is a coalition of parties.
Yes.
We have got Azimio la Umoja, which is a coalition of parties.
Yes.
Azimio la Umoja was formed after an agreement from different political parties. How is it going to happen, coalition to coalition agreement? It has never happened. We only have coalition parties.
Yes. Now, that will happen because we have not agreed as a party, as a Wiper, to join Azimio ourselves. If you join like that, you will become like any ordinary person. But if we join as we have our own presidential candidate, and also Azimio has got his own presidential candidate. You remember what they were saying, that in Kasarani they will have 20 members.
Yes.
You know, eh?
Right.
So that they can be able even to vote for whoever presidential candidate they want.
How many Wiper MPs do we have in Parliament?
Eh?
How many Wiper MPs do we have in Parliament?
28.
And in the Senate?
2. No, 3.
3.
Yes. No,
how many governors?
Sorry, 4.
4. That is 28 plus 4?
Yes. We have 2 governors.
2 governors. 2 governors. Now, is it because Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is trying to run away because of the numbers? Both the National Assembly, the Senate, and even the governors. Because when he comes as a Wiper party, he doesn't have the power to negotiate as an equal partner in the Azimio la Umoja.
No, you see now we had already formed Oka team, coalition.
Yes.
So if we like-minded coalitions want to negotiate with us so that we can work together, because now as it stands, there is no party, one party, which can win a presidential election in this country. So we have to come, the like-minded coalitions, to be able to work together. That is why we are saying Oka is already a coalition.
Right.
We cannot divide ourselves and say, let us go as a party. When you go as a party, you have no strength. But when you go as a coalition, you are negotiating as equal partners so that you share the...
That's quite interesting. Newton, the narrative.
You see, this is why Democratic Party is going into this election single-handedly.
You are not joining any coalition?
We are not joining any coalition. And I'm shocked to hear my Mheshimiwa here saying that, it is not possible for a political party to go alone to the presidential. These coalitions you're saying are coalitions of self-interest, coalitions of deceit, coalition of lies. Because if you look at Azimio, how many parties have joined there? Look at the parties that have joined into Jubilee. The other day they had an NDC at KICC. Look at the Power Party from Kilifi.
From Kilifi.
Look at the other small parties, the Ngilus parties, these are people who are going into retirement. And they are forming political parties for their own selfish interest.
They are going on retirement, but parties will remain.
But you see, who are leading these parties to those particular coalitions?
It doesn't matter.
It matters a lot.
Parties will remain.
No, a lot. Because these parties, they are being wood-washed this way, left, right. You saw what happened in 2017. Jubilee lied to almost 63 parties, or how many were they? 13 parties. 13. They were collapsed to form Jubilee Party. Look now, everybody's crying. URP is now in form of UDA. You get me? Right. That's why we are saying these coalitions are coalitions of deceit.
And when you talk of party collapsing,
yes,
I think that is why the issue of political parties bill was put in place, so that you come into a party, but you don't follow your parties. You come as individual parties, but you're still alive in a coalition.
But again, I ask, and this is a challenge maybe to the political parties body, to do an audit of all these political parties that are forming these coalitions. You will be shocked some of them are just briefcase political parties, because they have not fully adhered to the requirement of a political party. For you to be a political party, you must have officers in 25 counties. How many among us, the one that, like the one for Power from Kilifi? Do you think if you go do an audit of all those branches that they have, they will amount to 25? They can't. You get me? So we are being just subjected to politics of deceit, confrontations that are not necessary for this country. And that is why we are saying, as Democratic Party, we stand for some values. These other parties don't have. You see someone forming a party called Tujibebe Party. They have no values. Look at Democratic Party. It was formed 35 years ago. It still stands with its mantra, Umoja na Haki. There are some things that drive us as a political party. not just for purposes of election, not just for purposes of forming coalitions like others are forming. If you look in 2017 again, it is only Democratic Party that never collapsed to join Jubilee.
Okay. But
and here we are, strong and moving.
You are talking from the history of our elections in the country.
Yes.
Mheshimiwa, you can also attest to this, that no single political party has ever won an election. You
that
must
is an
have
imagination.
It is only Kanu that was winning those years.
It is an imagination.
Not now, not these days.
Right.
Because of selfish.
None can win, because every community needs to be represented in those coalitions.
Yes.
And you can never tell me that we are not a tribal country. We are.
And you're proud of it?
We are.
No, as a member of parliament, are you proud of it?
I am not saying I am proud of it.
Yes.
But that is the truth. But so people want to feel that they belong to the government, and so once their party is represented in the coalition, then there is harmony, because we are represented there in our party.
I think Mheshimiwa here is guiding the country.
You see, for you to say the DP party is going to the campaigns alone, then it means that you are not carrying the other part of the country together.
No, that is a lie. You see, you cannot tell me that if I go alone, I'm not carrying the aspirations of all the community. What I've said is simple. As Democratic Party, we are looking at a country where if Aluya is a president, the person in Makueni can feel the development of this country, because you don't have to be in government through a proxy for you to feel that government presence in your community or in your village. What we are saying is, any Kenyan, 47 million of them, will feel part of the government if the government is carrying out projects that are there to the needs of the people on the ground. Like Jubilee government, Uhuru Kenyatta has done amazingly well on infrastructure. People in Mandera can now drive on their roads all the way. We have an expressway here. Do you want to tell me Uhuru is building this road because the people in Nairobi joined in Jubilee?
Is that a single party?
Yes, Jubilee Party is a single party.
It's not a single party.
It is a coalition of parties.
It is a coalition of parties.
Jubilee Party.
It is a coalition of parties which is represented by the small parties.
Right.
In that
coalition.
But you see, the lies you guys are instilling in people that we cannot achieve unless as a community we are put in government through this political party.
That democracy has not yet grown to that extent in this country. There is no such a democracy in this country.
Okay,
we are still many years behind.
Okay,
no, we
will still grow it, but not now.
At this particular point, I think I'm not going to stop them. Let's just take a break, even when they're still talking. It's 8 on the dot. Let's take a break. We are going to continue with more after this. Stay around.
And it is also very important for you to know if two presidential candidates, especially a presidential candidate and a running mate, a deputy president, so to say, that they have come to an agreement, should be owned, because they are people of integrity and they should be honest. So, because one has betrayed the other one, my presidential candidate felt very disturbed, and he feels that he has been betrayed by his friend. Therefore, it was important for him to come out and tell the world that he has been betrayed. And therefore, if there is any agreement that is going to continue and discussions continue to be discussed between the two principals, Raila Amolo Odinga and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, then there should be an arbitrator
who, in history, the arbitrator and the deputy and his deputy, they went against each other's interests. Yes.
But you see now, let me ask you this question, because when you see the two gentlemen having an agreement,
yes,
I don't know what kind of scenario
yes.
that this will create, because in classic example,
yes,
the Democratic Party, you're saying you're not going for any agreement with any political party.
We're not going for any coalitions.
Is that what makes you a bit apprehensive about it?
Yes, that is some of the reasons. Because one, the politics of this country around political parties, they are just of self-interest. And this self-interest aspect...
Yes.
Some are been mentioned in the corruptions, others have been mentioned in other issues. So what I am saying that although the country was waiting, and it is still waiting, we are yet to reach.
Mheshimiwa, that brings me to a very important question.
Yes.
Then, if Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, as you claim that they had an agreement together with Honorable Raila Odinga,
yes,
that 2022, Honorable Raila Odinga would support him.
Yes.
People change. Raila is a politician. He's also an ambitious politician. He wants to be the president. If it happens that Raila doesn't...
That we need to get rid of as a country when it comes to August 9th of this year.
Let me answer him. Kalonzo is not negotiating for himself. In fact, he has nothing to negotiate for himself. He is negotiating for the Kenyans. And he has all the Kenyans at heart. What he is trying to say, to avoid, is like the Nansa coalition that was together, and then one of the principals runs away to go and do a weekend. We were together in one of the rallies together.
Yes.
And they come and say they are joining UDA. That means there was agreement even when they were still in Oka. Another betrayal. So, you know, these politics are like that. Sometimes you find that you are not benefiting where you are, so you think you are now going to benefit where you...
Nominations.
Yes.
That opens up a room for murky things to happen. Because one, as an aspirant, you just need to get people from the place, hire them, pay them, they come and vote for you. Instead of getting or campaigning to your party members to nominate you for that particular seat. So I believe also at that point we need to structure our laws in that all the nominations for political parties should have...
People are now registered members, and it's a very expensive move. You must pay the ones that are registering the people every day. And it's not everybody who can afford. Like the DP, there will not be an independent person that you can now run. You can now...
From one party.
Yeah, one party to was stopped in 2017.
Okay.
It was not there even.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, we are coming to the tail end of this. We're still having Newton.
Confirm to that. They are the voters in that parliament. But there are some reservations that he has been having and he has had about that particular bill. And up to date, he has stuck to it, saying, look, this thing is good, yes, but there are some precautions that we need to take to ensure that we have a smooth flow of things.
Yes.
We need to encourage Kenyans to belong into a political party.
All right. At what point do you support, which method do you go for? Direct picking?
No, for us in Democratic Party, we don't do direct nominations.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Not quite. We have got
just a very few. There are 2 or 3 in Nyanza. Let me don't teach me. I'm a member of parliament. I sit there, so I know what happens. And the good it is like Wiper. Once you win, also, people have got a lot of faith for you, and they'll vote for you.